What is going on, Crimson City? My name is Crimson CBAD, and in today's video, guys, I'm going to be bringing you our Week 12 team builder for the GBA. We are going up against Tom and the San Jose Sharpedos, and this week is, without a doubt, as far as importance goes, the most important week in the GBA, because this battle right here, every week is important leading up to this. We could have won every single match and not had to worry about this match, but given our season, this week right now is our most important match yet. This match determines, doesn't matter who wins, it doesn't matter what the score is at the end of it, but whoever wins, when I say it doesn't matter the score, it means it's not like, oh, like by 3-0 I have to win. If I win by 1, if Tom wins by 1, if anybody wins by anything, they are guaranteed a spot in the playoffs of Season 7 of the GBA. I've got my Crest of Hope shirt on. I thought it was fitting, so I'm really looking forward to this. I'm really looking forward to this matchup. Tom and I have been talking. We had a little bit of words a few days ago talking about how, you know, whatever happens at the end of this match, I'm glad that a Week 12 matchup was still relevant to a playoff race between two people. And Tom and I are both really good friends. I'm really excited that I get to take this battle with him. And last time, if you guys didn't check it out, Tom did win 4-1. I did play to the timer to preserve as much differential as I could. And this is a playoff determining match. I will play to win. I will play to that W. And if that is another instance where timer stalling is a thing, I will own up to that. That is a way that people have won in the past. That is a way that people will continue to win as long as the timer is in effect in the game battle. And I will go and take this W. I will. So, all that being said, if you guys are excited for today's team builder, be sure to leave a like on the video, and let's hop right into this. Alright, you guys should see a picture of Tom's team appear on screen right about now. His team has not changed since we played him. He has the Celesteela, he has the Thunderous Therian, the Nidoqueen, the Vaporeon, the Porygon 2, Azelf as his Z Captain, Hitmonlee, Zygarde Dog, Darmanitan, Shiftry, and Gardevoir. And I actually do want to look up something really quickly here. Because I believe he has brought Azelf very few and far between. If I do, let me double check this here. Yep, still the same team. Okay, just want to make sure. Games played with Azelf. He has played 3 out of his 11 games. He has brought Azelf. 10 out of 11 games he has brought the Thunderous Therian and the Nidoqueen. 8 out of the 11 games he has brought the Celesteela and the Porygon 2. To 6 matches, he has brought Vaporeon, Hitmonlee, and Zygarde. He's brought Darmanitan to 2 of the matches. He has never brought Shiftry and Gardevoir. He has also brought to 6 of the matches as well. So, he does have, let's take a quick look here. He has Stealth Rock setters in the form of Azelf and Nidoqueen. He has a Toxic Spike setter in the form of Nidoqueen. Defogger in the form of Shiftry, Rapid Spin in the form of Hitmonlee, 2 Heal Bellers in the form of Gardevoir and Vaporeon, and of course Vaporeon with that nice Vuitton Pass. Louis Vuitton Pass, ayo! But nothing too crazy. We got to be careful for the beast boosting Celesteela. Thunderous Therian is always a huge threat with that 101 speed, 145 special attack. Nidoqueen, one of the better mons in league format. It can be run bulky, it can be run offensive, it can be run defensive. Vaporeon, not bringing the Magneton this week, so spoilers. That's going to be a little interesting. P2 is always definitely a threat. Can't really plan for Azelf, really, other than hitting it really hard with a Dark-type move. Or a Bug-type move in this case. Hitmonlee, we got to be careful for an Unburden an Unburden set, or even a Scarf Reckless set. Does put in a little bit of work against our team here. Zygarde Dog, he did bring the Scarf Zygarde Dog last time, which is very impressive. Darmanitan's always a huge threat. I'm anticipating a Scarf. He did bring Banded last time, so we'll see what he decides to bring. I've got answers for Shiftry. Shiftry does put in some work against some of my walls, but he hasn't brought it yet, so I don't know if he'll bring it this week, but we'll see what happens. Shiftry is somewhat of a good response to Spore Smeargle if he decides to bring it. He doesn't have anything other than slapping safety goggles on something that can take care of it. And then, of course, the Gardevoir. Gardevoir could come make an appearance against our team. Last time, he did bring the Thunderous Therian Life Orb sets. He brought a Sheer Force Black Sludge Nidoqueen. He brought the P2 bulkier set. We did not get to see what the Hitmonlee had. He did bring a Jolly Banded Darmanitan set, and then he did bring a Choice Scarf Zygarde Dog set. So, very interesting team. Let's go on ahead and hop right into our team right here. First thing you guys are going to see, we're bringing Volcarona. I really like Volcarona's matchup against this team. After we get some pre-existing damage off, Volcarona does just kind of put in a lot of work. We're rocking the Lumberry, Quiver Dance, Hidden Power Rock, Fiery Dance, and Psychic. Set's a little weird. I had to work around it with the HP Rock IVs. So 20 in HP, 4 in attack or 4 in defense, 252 special attack, 8 in special defense, 224 in speed with a timid nature. So what does this do? Originally we had a much bulkier Volcarona, but ran it by a few people, and Scarf Darmanitan still is always a huge threat. So a +1 Volcarona does outspeed the Scarf Darmanitan and has a very, very good chance to OHKO with Hidden Power Rock. Let me double check this here. But I'm pretty sure that that's how that was worked. And we did find out in yes, HP Rock has a 62.5% chance to OHKO. So any pre-existing damage, any Flare Blitz, recoil, any sort of rocks that we are able to get up, HP Rock will knock this thing out, provided he has a normal Scarf set. An Assault Vest variant of Darmanitan put in a lot of work against my team, actually, in Mox, so we'll see if he does bring that. But Fiery Dance is cool. It gets a special attack boost. It hits Celesteela, hits Thunderous T, hits the P2, hits the Azelf, hits the Hitmonlee, hits the Shiftry. Psychic hits the Nidoqueen. Psychic hits the Hitmonlee. I mean, Psychic hits Zygarde Dog. Originally, Bug Buzz was on here. I like Hidden Power Rock a lot more because it does OHKO the Thunderous. It does OHKO the Darmanitan, which are two huge threats to my team, actually. So Bug Buzz was originally on here, but what was Bug Buzz going to be good against for? Azelf? I can just click Fiery Dance against that. After a boost or two off of that, it's not going to be living anything. So, and if he does bring like a Sash set and I go for like a +3 Bug Buzz and he turns around and Stone Edges or Ancient Powers me, we'll see about that. Next up, we're bringing Cobalion. Cobalion is rocking the X Rebel Justified ability, Zen Headbutt, Swords Dance, Stone Edge in close combat, 52 in HP, 252 attack, 204 speed, Jolly Nature. Our Cobalion is outspeeding the Thunderous Therian. Cobalion is what I would like to call a bait for Nidoqueen. So if he is bringing a max HP offensive set, we can do a ton of damage to this thing. If not, I expect he would anticipate me to switch out and go for some form of hazards. I don't think he would go straight for an Earth Power. But the goal is to bring this thing in on something, scare it out, go for a Swords Dance, Zen Headbutt the Nidoqueen. We also do put in a ton of work against his team. At +2, Stone Edge in close combat do a lot. Zen Headbutt does good damage to anything that is not receiving heavy damage from Stone Edge or close combat. So nothing too crazy with this here. I didn't want to bring an SDRP variant just because I felt like I didn't have the coverage for it. So Swords Dance X Rebel does put in a lot of work against his team. Next up here, I really like this. A little bit of heat. Weakness Policy, Crocodile, Intimidate set, Stealth, Rock, Earthquake, Toxic, and Knockoff. 252 HP, 4 in attack, 252 defense, and Impish Nature. This is our Rock setter. Pokemon weak to rocks on his team are the Thunderous, the Darmanitan, and chip damage on everything else. Earthquake. Earthquake hits the Nidoqueen. Earthquake hits it super effectively. Earthquake hits every other thing it's not grounded, so Celesteela and Thunderous T. Everything else are in the Azelf. Pop! Goodbye. Toxic. If he decides to bring in Vaporeon or P2 on this thing, we click Toxic. Knockoff. Knockoff gets rid of items and things. So why Weakness Policy? So this thing is pretty bulky. You'll see later, we'll talk about the Smeargle set. Smeargle kind of pairs in well with Crocodile as well as the Serena. Weakness Policy at +2. Nothing really wants to take a +2 Knockoff or a +2 Earthquake, or in this case for Vaporeon, the couple mocks that ran +2 Knockoff and a +2 Earthquake. Same thing with P2, +2 Knockoff and a +2 Earthquake. So it does give us a chance to, what does he switch into now, a +2 Crocodile? Even though we're uninvested, it still does a tremendous amount of damage, an absolute just butt ton of damage. So Weakness Policy really is a one-time thing, so if he brings in something kind of outdo me, we got to kind of get as much damage off as we can right there. But it did put in a lot of work against the Mox. We did talk about it. I did run it by a few other people as well. It does look really good on paper. We're going to see how it plays out. Next up, we've got a really interesting Slowbro set. Not the typical defensive variant that we have been bringing against the Darmanitan in the past 2 times we faced it in the league. But I do like it a lot. Slowbro with the Wakan Berry, Regenerator, Ice Beam, Toxic, Flamethrower, and Slack Off. 252 HP, 52 defense, 204 special defense with a Calm Nature. Wakan Berry is going to help us eat those electric type hits from Thunderous there and fire up a nice Ice Beam into the slots. Flamethrower is going to be able to hit the Celesteela. Flamethrower is also going to hit the Shiftry. Ice Beam is also going to hit it. Ice Beam is also going to hit the Zygarde. Psychic was kind of redundant. We originally had Psychic on here because I didn't want Vaporeon to come in. But I replaced Toxic with the Psychic simply because I can go for a Psychic on the Vaporeon and then it tosses up a Wish. So I would rather go off and fire off Toxic, Force a Heal Bell, then Force a Wish. So because on the Heal Bell, he's not going to get any sort of recovery back. He's not going to get any sort of momentum. I can get a free switch into something else. So nothing too crazy to say about this. More utility, more kind of just poking a little bit of holes, kind of scouting for sets. We can eat Wakanberry from a Timid Life Orb Thunderous Therian. So, or even a Modest Scarf Thunderous Therian. We can eat a Thunderbolt with our Wakan. Next up here, Serena, the Cosmo Queen, rocking the Light Clay, Queenly Majesty, Light Screen, Reflect, U-Turn, and Synthesis, 252 HP, 220 defense, 36 speed with an impish nature. Screens are going to help Volcarona, screens are going to help the Cobalion, and screens are also going to help our Weakness Policy Crocodile, just being able to poke some holes in his team. Kind of running through here. It's also going to help us eat hits from things like the Thundurus and from the Darmanitan as well. This is kind of our Zygarde check as well. Synthesis for the recovery. U-turn for a slow turnout. We do outspeed an uninvested Nidoqueen if he is running a very bulky set. We'll be able to scout that right away. Light Screen and Reflect, like I said, nothing too crazy to say here. I put Synthesis on because we didn't have the leftovers. I was going to have Rapid Spin on, but the I want to take out his hazard setters as quickly as I can. So that's why I'm trying to make it so there are no hazards on his side of the field. I want to pressure that sort of mentality on him, that he does not have time to set up hazards. He needs to attack me. So, last up here, very interesting Smeargle set. Pain Painter, the Choice Scarf Smeargle with the Technician ability. Trick, Transform, Parting Shot, and Spore. 252 HP, 124 special defense, 132 in speed with a timid nature. There was nothing really we needed to outspeed. He's not bringing Scarf Celesteela. We can't outspeed a Scarf Nidoqueen. He's not bringing Scarf Vaporeon or Scarf P2. So I Scarf to outspeed the fastest thing on his team that I could outspeed with which is the Zygarde Dog. Everything else that would outspeed me if it did bring a Scarf. So Trick, if he brings in the Celesteela, the Nidoqueen, or not the Nidoqueen, excuse me, I've tricked a Nido in the past. If he brings in Celesteela, Vaporeon, or P2, we can trick a Scarf onto it, get the item, kind of cripple it in a sense. Transform. Smeargle is our dedicated lead. We're leading with Smeargle every single time. Transform, if he is bringing a Life Orb or even a Life Orb or a Scarf Specs Thunderous Therian, we click Transform, gets a Scout out his entire set. It forces him out then at the time because we do have his Volt Absorb. We are IV'd for HP Ice. HP Ice does do damage to the Celesteela, the Thundurus, the Nidoqueen, the Zygarde Dog, and the Shiftry. So I didn't think any other hidden power had really good coverage against the majority of his team. So I want to go with that in case we transform into any Mons that do have HP. We also do scout out their entire set aside from the item, which is nice. Parting Shot. Parting Shot is really good for switches. Parting Shot is also really good for getting in things to set up, especially if we have the screens up. We do get that attack and special attack drop, which is really nice. Spore puts things to sleep, allows us to switch in something like our Serena, allows us to switch in something like our Slowbro, allows us to switch in something else, preferably Serena to get those screens up, and then we can go out into something like the Volcarona or the Cobalion to start setting up and hopefully putting in a lot of damage. I'm really, like I said, Smeargle leads every situation. 100% of the time I click lead Smeargle. If he leads off with something like Celesteela, I click Spore. Of course he can have safety goggles, but I can't lead off with something and say, oh, he's bringing safety goggles this, he's bringing safety goggles this. It is always an option, but this Mon is very hard to prepare for. So, I mean, you can slap safety goggles onto something, but what are you going to do? So, all that being said, guys, thank you guys all for watching today's Team Builder in the GBA Week 12. I'm very excited, very nervous, very hopeful for this matchup. As you guys can tell, if you guys are excited, like I said, be sure to leave a like on this video as well as subscribe so you don't miss out on tomorrow's battle. It's going to be a fun one. All that being said, I want to remind you guys to be great and do great. I'm going to let this outro bang. I'm going to talk to you guys soon. Later.